on his part, he probably felt they were attacking his girlfriend at that time and he had to defend it. But
Yeah.
not knowing like he was going against his own people, trying to defend that. But like there was a better way he could have defended that or like stood for his girlfriend at that
Like,
time.
this is my point. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean like what those guys basically did is correct. But I can imagine like he's apologizing maybe because he probably went over the line. You understand? It doesn't necessarily mean like what he did is correct.
Welcome everyone to Chillhop Vibes again. It's the usual trio. It's Bhydemi, it's OJ, and it's Slimo. And today we're hanging around and just giving you the best review on Dave's album. We are all alone in this together. And today we're gonna break it down for you and give you as much details as we can on the album. First of all, the album is like a very introspective one. Just a quick summary, telling you about the knife crime in the UK, about like his brother as well. His brother was involved in knife crime violence, and he's in prison right now, Christopher, and he's going to be in prison, I think, for 18 years or to life. So aside that, we're going to take away the real life perspective and just analyze the music itself and give you the best of it. And so, Vitamin, what do you think about the album?
So the album is my best new discovery for this year. I mean, like you guys basically put me on to this album, and I mean, listening to the album has been really, really, really interesting because the album is very layered. It's like really introspective. The Dave has like, I mean, we had a lot of topics to bring together, and I think this album is good for anybody who's like I mean, the album is very relatable for especially immigrants.
OJ, so what do you think about the album from your perspective?
It's a revelation. That's how I would like to put it. I mean, I think this dude really he really studied his craft. He really put this one together, in my opinion. And for the fact that he's really hitting on a very important topic right now in the UK, some things from knife crime to even the tough immigration policies, and also relating that to his own experience, and having his mom, on the album and stuff, also looking for a way to also put it, make it music that anyone can listen to at the moment. So including Afrobeats songs, R&B like songs. I think it is very complete for an album. I really see Dave putting quite a lot in this, and it's massive.
Yeah, I would definitely say I agree as well.
OJ, what do you think about like the second section of the song of the album? Sorry.
Yeah. I think like the first section and even the last section, if we divide it into four different songs, I think it's also another interesting part. I see him moving from the first four, which are very much UK rap sound based, switching a bit to some kind of Afro beats, R&B kind of sounds as well. So Three Rivers, for instance, it will turn out to be one of the best um, 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 works that they would ever do, in my opinion. Three Rivers really tries to bring into perspective, the whole topic behind Britain and racism and how they treat migrants and all of that. So he really detailed. I think he used three nice examples. The Windrush folks. There was a nice quote from the song where he, quoted someone, probably giving an interview before, say, for over 20 years, I've been working and paying taxes, and sometimes someone comes and say, you're not accepted here or stuff like that. Really, really giving key details of these things, and also highlighting why people would leave their comfort zones and try to go to somewhere where they can be human, and then they get there, they see it differently, and it also affects their perspective, turning them into what they would not want others to be to them. It's quite a good one, in my opinion.
Man, I think you did a very, very, very good job in breaking down all of that. And it's just, I think the viewers just have to listen to this album to actually get like everything that we're talking about, because
100%. If you haven't listened to this album, come on, listen to it.
Because it switches from one topic to the next, even like the next bar. Like it's actually the next bar, and it's a different topic as well.
I swear, he really put in work, man.
Growing up, I'm used to be like, I used to listen to full albums, and I used to like, when I go to the school, I meet people who just watch MTV and they watch they watch the singles, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell like the single is actually different from the album. This is a classic. The singles are very good. They're very playful. Like, they make sense. But I mean, you wouldn't get the total package until you actually listen to the full album.
I agree. Totally.
I agree. Like if I have to analyze like the last 4 songs of the album, I would say this is more like the emotional part of the album, but not completely, because even like the first 4 songs of the album, it gives you like the introspective side, the side about the immigrant, other topics as well, knife crime like OJ mentioned already.
Mm-hmm.
The last one, the last 4 is talking about like anxiety, mistakes they made, which I would break down into like the 4, the when I'm talking more about the songs. The crazy side about the song is like the title of the song is like Both Sides of a Smile, and then the song is like 2 parts. So both sides are like 2 sides of a smile. It's like 1 and 2, and then he actually does like part 1 and part 2. So the first part is him talking like he's in a car, he's driving back, he's talking with his girlfriend, and then they're arguing back and forth, right? And talking about like same issues that people in a relationship have. He's not treating her right, she's not cool with it, she thinks you're buying me all these designer bags and all of that because you feel guilty, you're cheating on me. And then what I enjoy about this one, like the first part, is like he's rapping at the beginning, and you never get this, right? You always get this like in R&B duet songs. You barely get this in like rap songs. So then he's rapping at the beginning, giving you all of these lines, talking about things from his perspective. Like if you give a rose to a woman, she turns it into gold. You give a brick to a woman, she turns it into a home or a house. And then it changes when his voice goes up. The woman, the Shash Simone, she's rapping at the bottom, and then the tempo changes like that. So our voice keeps coming up, and then his voice comes down, and then you can now hear a voice where she is now talking from like a woman's perspective. So even from the part 1 is also like another side of a smile, like a man's perspective and a woman's perspective, which is really clever, I could say. And it's what we regard in rap as like lyrical, I would say. And then it switches later, and then it starts telling you about like what he thinks about like a guy dating a woman and how the pressure might be, and then it switches later. And I have to also acknowledge like the voice of James Blake, man. Like is angelic. Like if you haven't listened to James Blake before, I would say go to his album in I think his album in 2016, The Color in Anything. That's like crazy album. And I think he also has one in 2021 this year, The Friends That Break Your Heart, something like that. I think so. So like it does crazy things with like with his albums. And his vocals on this album is just angelic, and it just killed it. And I would like to shout out to one of our guy in Nigeria as well, Ladipo. I would say Ladipo is also like one of this kind of artists that just want someone to do the chorus, and then they just go ahead and just do the rapping.
He actually got recently a BET nomination, yeah?
He deserves it, man. Yeah. He should get it. He definitely should get it. But yeah, like, and then there's like a second part where it's now Dave talking about what he's gone through, how he has cheated on his girlfriend with many women in America, and every time he gets a call from a number from +1, he's scared of it because it feels like, oh, maybe this person knows about like the person I'm cheating with. And then he talks about like a Napoleon Bonaparte, how he met Joan of Arc. I'm not gonna break that down. I just want our viewers to go check that out as well, because I always like when rappers educate us on that. But Napoleon, I guess we all know who Napoleon is. And Joan is like a big general that led an army for the war as well, and then got Napoleon's respect. So go check all of that as well. I'm not gonna break it up. So he talked about like all of these, and then it switches to 21. Like what I've said already, 21 is like a crazy one. Up on intended. 21 is a crazy one. And then he's just talking like it's playing on the time like it's 20 to 1, like 20 to 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., whatever time it is, and then it's going to jump on somebody who messed with his guy or him, and it's when they catch the person, it's gonna be 20 of his guys against the one person that messed with him. Yeah, I think it's almost like contradicting to the album where it's talking about like Black excellence, we should promote violence, but I think that one also is almost trying to tell people like, don't play with me as well. Like, I don't mind doing all of this as well. So, Bhydemi, what was the rating for this album now?
I mean, I would say an 8 over 10.
8 over 10.
Reason being that I mean, it's a very good body of work. It's I mean, it's a round piece. It's a round piece of work. It has like the the classic introspective topics, and also it has like very good singles, and he matches everything very well. That's the reason why I give it 8 over 10. It's kind of a high rank.
Mm-hmm. OJ, what would you think about it? Or what do you think about it?
Well, for me, I add 1 to that and give it a 9 over 10. If I want to be critical, I would say, okay, I want to judge from the perspective of a hip hop album. And that's why it will be a -1, because it's not a full-fledged, in my opinion, album, but it's quite a complete one. If you
why I have to interrupt you there. Why is it not full-fledged? Sorry.
I mean, for hip hop heads and traditional hip hop people, if you have 3-4 tracks in your album that's a bit groovy with this R&B touch.
So, Bhydemi, was the critics though? Like, what was the issue with that?
Yeah, your rating test.
No, I'm asking the question, bro.
You're the boss today.
First, I think it's a very good piece of work. Generally, I don't really see so much to criticize because like it's I mean he basically delivers, he has very good topics, like I said. I mean there are a few points that I feel like maybe they might have been a bit contradictory, like but then also I mean, but then it's a bit contradictory, to kind of, say like you want to jump like people. And then in the same album, you are basically passing like you're being woke in the same album. I think it might be sound a bit contradictory. I mean, there's another controversial topic in the album, but then I would like to keep it like that.
Okay. All right. Since you don't want to talk about the controversial side of it, all right.
But don't you think? I think he and Chip, they have kind of beef or something.
Like, for one, I mean, I think.
But I think he dropped that too, right? I think there's squashed that beef.
That even Slim kind of mentioned, I feel to a certain point, like, yeah, I understand why he would go, and kind of apologize, like it depends on, and then also because I'm not really privy to the kind of exchange he had with like the black ladies. Maybe if he was like being general about attacking black, ladies or black people, then I mean, then you would understand. But also, like you have a fan base, right? You have like a fan base of both. And so when you kind of put the message out there, you kind of should also expect some kind of reaction as well. Yeah, this is the controversial part of my
Yeah, but what he did was on Twitter, where he was going back and forth with the women, and I think he used this medium now to apologize and try to fix it because he knows better now. He's older now. And then it probably was just because then it was his comment on Twitter was like melanin skin. Look at these people with melanin skin. Because on his part, he probably felt they were attacking his girlfriend at that time and he had to defend it. But not knowing like he was going against his own people, trying to defend that. But like there was a better way he could have defended that or like stood for his girlfriend.
Like, this is my point. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean like what those guys basically did is correct. But I can imagine like he's apologizing maybe because he probably went over the line. You understand? It doesn't necessarily mean like what he did is correct. Now, yeah, this is actually my point.
Got you. Anyways, my rating would be 7.5 over 10. I think it's a very, very good album. I wouldn't dispute that. It's an album that gives me the same feeling like when I listen to People Butterfly by Kendrick Lamar. It kind of stirred the same emotions that I had at that time, same emotion, maybe probably because obviously I'm black. The only thing that would not push it like to the top for me would be the features, I would say. The features in the album. I don't want to break it down. I just want to say that like vaguely.
The features are not impressive.
Some were impressive. I would just say James Blake wasn't impressive. I think modded it. I think Georgia Smith modded it. I think the two guys he had on
Wizkid, Bodge.
I think Wizkid wasn't necessary. From my own opinion, Bodge was necessary. But I think
Bodge was fantastic in my opinion.
Was fantastic. I agree with you on that. But I think Wizkid wasn't necessary.
I think it's always very difficult to outdo introspective albums because like people gravitate towards them very much. Even if
the music is gonna be relevant in 10, 20 years.
No matter how at what stage of your career that you do this, right? So you could be like Nas, who did it like pretty early. You could be like Eminem, who did it maybe pretty early, or you could
be like Busta Rhymes,
who did it like pretty late. Basically. But at the end of the day, it's very difficult to. And I'm kind of looking forward to what he has to do next because It's just like art is like, it's like when you have like this blank,
Exactly.
this is what I mean, some of the art page, and you paint it and you paint it, and then you don't have any, like you have less spaces to paint, because you told us all your story. Then now what next? What else do you want to tell us that is new to us? We already heard it before. Are you going to just like remix the story? Are you going to like, say it in a different set of words and stuff like this? But I mean, he's definitely a creative. So I look forward to his next project.
Yeah. I mean, also one thing we should acknowledge is the guy is just 23 though. So he's having his own journey.
It's just like, I mean, like you say like, okay, I'm an immigrant. Like, this is what I went through when I was young. If you come on like 2 albums and you're still telling me this, this could, like, obviously he would have to find a way to reinvent himself.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, all right, just giving us something now. If it takes 2 years off, it's going to experience something else. It could be something from his relationship, whatever is happening in his life. I mean, he's a Black man. There's always a story to it.
Yeah, I get it. He's gonna, see a lot more in the future, and definitely we look forward to his project in the future.
Most definitely. And if you've never listened to Psychodrama by Dave, go listen to Psychodrama. And if you've never listened to other projects from like James Blake, you could give that a listen as well. And you've never listened to all of our stream on our channel, to give that a listen as well. We have like a live stream that plays 24/7. Just give that a listen, and just if you're working, playing a video game or whatever you're doing, you can just give that a listen and just enjoy it the whole time as well. So what do you guys have to say before we bounce?
So thanks for your support. Thanks for the number of followers. We saw like we're really bigger. And thanks for your support. Like, share, comment, drop your your comment, your reaction. Tell us what you'd like to hear and all those kind of things. And also, like Slim said, listen to our streams. And if you're an artist, you would like us to put your song in our playlist in the stream, you can also send it to us on Chillhop@gmail.com.
All right. Very soon we're gonna have like one of the underground artists, and we're gonna talk to him and have like a conversation. I want you guys to stay tuned to that and support all of the artists that we have as well on our channel. So it's Slim, it's OJ, and it's Bhydemi, and watch out for the next video.